Hi everybody, this is Louise Taylor. If you're looking to supplement your income in the financial markets and one day achieve financial independence, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid the mistakes that ruin your chances of success in the financial markets. There are, by the way, a lot of you who make them. Whether you're a novice in the financial markets or a more experienced investor with poor results, the solutions for making profits in the financial markets are the same. Regardless of your knowledge or past experience, I will show you the mistakes that prevent you from succeeding in the financial markets and give you some simple solutions to rectify them. So, pay close attention to everything I'm going to tell you in this video. We're going to have a look at what doesn't work, but more importantly, what really works to succeed in the financial markets. You'll find that it's not that difficult to avoid the pitfalls. I'll give you all the knowledge you need to generate your first financial market profits. I'm not talking about only helping you take your first steps, but about accompanying you for the forthcoming months and years. You'll have access to all the tools you need to make a sustainable living and generate a regular income. As the months go by, you'll progress and improve your performance. After a few months, if you follow all the steps well, you'll be able to acquire the additional income you want and even achieve financial freedom. There are a lot of ways to make money in the financial markets and even more ways to lose money. The financial markets are not simple. There are a lot of pitfalls to elude, obstacles to overcome. Making money is one thing, but the hardest thing in the financial markets is to generate steady profits without losing everything at once. In the financial markets, there are opportunities every day to win, both bullish and bearish. The important thing is knowing how to use them sustainably without risking your capital. I'm going to reveal some important information in this series of free videos. The first mistake is believing that you can gain in the financial markets without training. This has a profoundly serious consequence and leads you to a lot of problems. You then act like a gambler in a casino. You'll take high risks and foolishly suffer heavy losses. Once you start down the slippery slope, it's hard to stop. You lose confidence, you become demoralized. On top of that, you've wasted your time. You simply tested different markets and financial products, but in the end, you learned nothing. That's the worst thing. To profit in the financial markets, you rely on hope. The hope that your positions become profitable, that your losses turn into gains. You always make the same mistakes and expect a different result every time. Of course, the result is always the same. You lose your money. You buy or sell a security without really knowing why you invest, without any method. You follow your instincts. Your view of the financial markets is then totally distorted. You have the impression of being constantly disappointed, of going from bad times to worse, from broker to broker, from miracle strategy to miracle strategy. Instead, you could use a small portion of your capital for training. The objective is not to learn as quickly as possible, but to devote a little of your time each day to training at your own pace. Spending 30 minutes a day is enough to train and succeed in the financial markets. If you don't have enough time, you could spend those 30 minutes just at the weekends. You'll be able to generate additional income. It just takes longer to do so. Through training, you'll learn not to lose your money, and then you learn how to make it. You invest smart. Every day spent in the financial markets brings you closer to your goal. You progress constantly. Your skills enable you to avoid endangering your capital and to have a well-defined buying and selling action plan. By accumulating profitable trades, you gain confidence in yourself and in your investment strategy. You progress step by step. Your results improve. After just a few months, you'll have all the skills you need to be successful in the financial markets in the long term. Ask yourself the following question. Would you prefer to invest a small portion of your capital to educate yourself and start with small financial market gains, or invest all your capital in the markets and lose it all? The second mistake in the financial markets is believing that it takes a lot of capital to succeed. This is a common misconception among novices. It poses a lot of problems. The first is that you're afraid to start on the financial markets, which is a shame. You don't give yourself the opportunity to succeed. You remain a spectator on the financial markets. The worst part is that you're wasting your time following the financial markets. You still follow developments in the indices, you read the financial press, and in the end, you do nothing. Believing that it takes a large amount of capital to succeed may, on the contrary, push you to invest a significant portion of your savings. You're then under enormous stress. You're filled with dread every time you take a position. You run the risk of putting yourself in financial jeopardy in your personal life. And all this for what? Not much, because often you haven't trained. You end up losing your hard-earned money. To avoid this, you can start by investing from €500. Starting with a small amount of capital is still an opportunity. you don't risk losing much. It's also more than enough to learn and improve your investment method. It's a perfect place to start. To profit on the financial markets, all you need is a good method. Your capital amount doesn't matter. What matters is how you handle it. Anyone can profit in the financial markets. On the other hand, only those who are properly trained will succeed. Starting with a small amount of capital in the financial markets does not prevent you from reaching your goals. Quite the contrary. This capital is enough to develop and improve your investment strategy. Once you accumulate profitable trades, you can deposit more capital to generate the additional income you desire and one day achieve financial freedom. The third mistake in the financial markets is believing that you need advice on buying or selling. You consult numerous stock market sites looking for as much advice as you can get. You can't do without it. The more you consult them, the more you become dependent on them. You're incapable of making up your own mind. You just do what you're told to do. The problem is that this advice is often contradictory. One site tells you to buy and another site tells you to sell. This is logical. Each investor has his own investment strategy. In the end, you're lost. You don't know who to listen to or what to do. Additionally, the advice is often worthless. On stock exchange sites, most content simply explains why it went up or down. By the time they tell you to buy or sell, it's already too late. As for financial analysts who release recommendations, they're not objective. Companies pay these analysts to publish recommendations. As a result, there's a huge conflict of interest. Reading all the financial advice is a complete waste of time. All the time you're reading these tips, you think you're learning from others, but in reality, you're not making any progress. You take a position without ever understanding why you're doing it. As a result, your performance stagnates and often you lose money. Instead of spending your time reading these tips, you can develop and improve your investment strategy. You should understand that this step is not as insurmountable as it seems. It's simply a matter of having good skills and putting them into practice. By experimenting, you progress quickly. It's not that difficult to have a good, successful strategy. You get better every month and you achieve your goals. In the financial markets, it's particularly important to understand why you are buying and selling a security. Whether your transactions earn or lose, they enable you to improve your investment strategy and make it more efficient. You'll accept losing more easily and you'll be able to correct your mistakes. As a result, you'll gradually increase your number of profitable trades and so gradually be able to generate regular income in the financial markets. If you still believe that it's essential to follow financial market advice, ask yourself the following question. Have you really made any money from this advice and done so without endangering your capital? The fourth mistake is believing that your performance is related to the time spent in the financial markets. Several problems arise from this mistake. The first is the need to be in position at all times. All you think about is the stock market all day long. You spend hours scrutinizing your charts, looking for the opportunity not to be missed. You only live for the financial markets rather than enjoying life. Financial freedom is not working to live. It's making your capital work so that you no longer have to work 7 or 10 hours a day. So you're straying from your goal. The second problem is that you're turning to short-term investments. The more you invest, the more you suffer heavy losses. Short-term is not suitable for novices. A novice needs time to make the right decisions. As you keep piling up losses, you get demoralized. You end up having a bad experience of the financial markets that you find too risky and complicated. To avoid all this, you can practice on a demo account, also called paper trading. On this type of account, you place buy and sell transactions just like on a real account, except that you don't risk your money. It's therefore an excellent way to progress. By accumulating transactions, you'll gain confidence. A demo account is also a great way to learn how to be organized and disciplined in your investments. To earn on the financial markets, you have to be able to follow your strategy to the letter without ever once deviating from it. All this can be learned on a demo account. To progress quickly, you only need to devote a tiny part of your time to training to give yourself the opportunity for success in the financial markets. Training is using your time wisely in the financial markets. If you spend hours just scanning charts and looking at financial market sites, you're wasting your time. Trading means assimilating new knowledge every day, which you can then put into practice. As a result, you quickly get concrete results. Then you understand that it's not necessary to spend a lot of time to invest in the financial markets. Once you have found your investment method, 15 minutes a day is enough to generate regular gains. It's particularly important to separate your income from the time you spend getting it. Think about how much time you spend working and what that brings you. Compare what an hour of work earns you with what an hour could earn you if you grew your savings wisely. The fifth mistake on the financial markets is to believe in a magic formula. This mistake leads you to looking for a strategy that's profitable every time, or almost every time. A strategy that allows you to gain several tens or even hundreds of percentage points in a few days or weeks. Training courses that promise you big gains in a short period are a scam. Shun them. Showing positive backtests is amazingly easy, just as the performance published can easily be faked. It's enough to use the right time frame or simply modify some data manually. It couldn't be simpler. Moreover, backtests are distorted by market data that's not what we actually see. Spreads and wicks are not the same. A positive backtest also does not show you the risk associated with the strategy. In the end, it gives you a distorted view of the financial markets, a view in which you no longer accept losses. In the financial markets, you can't avoid losing trades. The best strategy in the world has lost phases, even if you're Warren Buffett. If you want to profit every time, it's because you think you're better than one of the best investors in the world. I'll leave you to ponder that. The other problem caused by believing in a magic formula is wanting a turnkey strategy. You're then convinced that you can succeed effortlessly. Many trainers on the web tap this opportunity, and everyone tells you that their strategy is the best. They promise you that with their strategy, you're sure to profit. I'm sorry to disappoint you, no one can guarantee you a payout. When someone gives you a strategy, even if it's a profitable one, they never give you the exact way they manage their risk, so moving stops, taking anticipated profit, etc. It simply tells you what gives you the buy or sell signal. At the slightest losing or unexpected trade, which is inevitable in the markets, you won't know what to do, or you'll start to doubt and deviate from the strategy. Eventually, you'll stop following it and you'll invest using your instinct again. Then you'll lose all your money. To succeed in the financial markets, you have to develop your own strategy. To do this, you need to acquire the necessary skills. A strategy revolves around 3 key points. First of all, there's what gives you the signal to buy or sell. You'll discover that it's easy to get relevant signals when you know what to look for. Then you have to be able to adequately protect your capital. There are basic rules to be followed, without which you cannot profit in the markets, and tools to objectively judge the quality of your investments. In this way, you'll be able to progress step by step towards optimal management of your trades. Finally, there's emotional management. You must learn to control your emotions. There are some tangible tips you can apply to avoid adopting the attitude of a casino player at all costs, which I told you about at the beginning. All this takes work. We can only give you the right tools, but then you have to experiment. Having the right tools saves valuable time. You can expect to make long-term gains after just a few months, while others who refuse to train continue to lose their money. Firstly, you'll generate initial profits, then gradually perfect your strategy. This is what will allow you to get the additional income you hope for and one day achieve financial freedom. The question to ask yourself now is, do you want to give yourself the means to succeed and live the life you dream of? In the next free video, I will reveal the method of successful financial market investors. Take advantage of it. See you there soon.